Summer has come to pass. The innocent can never last. Wake me up when September ends. You guys know the Phineas cover of that song? That's what I think of every time. The one where he's just like, oh, okay, right. Oh my gosh, we're going to the trial. Yeah. Okay, let me just click on, what's her name again? And then we'll hop into the trial. You guys told me that there is some save points in it that's like after some mini games and stuff. So I think I can do it. It's gotta be Tadaira. She's evil. Evil. Also, I ran out of band-aids for my scar. I have to have it band-aided before I like put on a shirt or like sleep on it because I have to apply an ointment so that, you know, it heals and I can't have the ointment rubbing off on anything. So the band-aid is there to like keep the ointment there. I ran out and so I walked into the Walgreens with like my shirt pulled back so that it wasn't touching my scar. I was just like, do you know where the band-aids are? And I got these band-aids. I got these band-aids, and it's like moves like a second skin, designed for large and difficult to cover minor wounds. One-step substitute for gauze and tape, and it's like not sticking at all. So I hope it's just one defective one, because I'm gonna need these for work tomorrow too and recording, so we'll see. But it'll do for now. Why don't we hop into the trial and get this thing rolling, shall we? I've never seen a trial in this game before. I'm so excited. I'm recording on both sides, good. Bam. In session. Listen to that music.
Now, let's begin with a quick explanation of the class trial. The outcome of the class trial is decided by your votes. If you name the correct blackened...
I see her. Your Honor, I see her. She's right there.
Only the blackened will be executed. But if you name the wrong person as the blackened, then everyone but the blackened will be executed. And the one who fooled everyone else will graduate from this academy.
Here it comes. The class trial. Our first or last time they play with our lives. Before we get started, let's clear up a few things. Number one, is there really a culprit among the 15 of us?
Of course! Among the 14 remaining innocent sheep, there's a wolf in sheep's clothing lurking.
And secondly, what the hell is this next to me?
What can I say? It's like a ritual. You know how they post pictures of the body at funerals? Something like that.
Ritual?
This is a whole lot of BS. What are we waiting for? You can start whenever you like. So then, why don't we get to work? The full course class trial!
Even if it's a trial, I don't know where to start. I have a vague idea where to begin. For example, there was a dying message next to the body, or the body was found in a secret room. If there's anything unusual about this, we can discuss that. Iwada's body was in pretty normal condition.
Well, was there really nothing unusual about it?
I've been relatively lax in my biological studies, but the mismatch between weapon and the cause of death is still pretty amazing. A mismatch between the weapon and the cause of death. A clear indication of that is... his cause of death. That's the clear indication. What? The blood coming out of his mouth, maybe? This? No, that's not right. Let's think about it a bit more. Sorry. Sorry. I definitely noticed that when examining the body. Let's refresh my memory. Okay, yeah, for sure. Kizuki's account. Iwada died from having blood in his lungs.
これだ!
You're referring to the situation where the victim was stabbed and still died suffocated, right?
Yes, that's right. At first, I was confused as to why the knife was there, but Kizuki explained everything. If you don't have any biological knowledge, you can definitely get stumped here.
She's so short.
Speaking of which, I'd like to point out, did the perpetrator intend that outcome? The outcome? When they stabbed Iwada, did they go for it knowing that he would choke on his own blood? I can't say for sure, but based on a quick review, I'd say it's more likely than not. The knife pierced the lung, but at a very narrow angle. If it had been pointed a little lower, it would have missed the lung. It's a wonder if a non-technical person could pull off such a trick. Well, we have some experts among us, right? Dun, 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 dun. Kizuki, including you. Yeah, but I said if the stab wound was a bit lower, then it would have, missed. And so, since I'm so short, then it wouldn't have actually worked because I couldn't reach that high where he got stabbed. You know how it is. For example, the active criminal over there. Or is it the active in-duty knifeman over there?
Does that refer to me?
Or maybe it's you.
Yeah, the one who we know nothing about.
Since when did she fall asleep again? Don't tell me.
I don't know if I should say this, but I don't think waking her up is going to help us much. So let's just leave her alone. Anyway, I'll keep saying what I'm saying. I think you're a fairly rational person, Ego. But aren't you just grabbing at straws? It's grasping at straws, actually. Isn't that the whole point of a class trial? To nail down every little thing that's easy to get away with? Well, in this case, despite Kizuki's comment no matter how much medical knowledge they had, it was impossible to commit such an outcome. Sure.
Why would you say that if you know everything?
Just thinking out loud.
You mean I can just ignore it and walk away? Let's change the subject then. If I may chime in, why don't we take this as a starting point? A place to start our discussion?
Yes, that's what a starting point is. In other words, are you suggesting that we talk about the condition of Mr. Iwada's body first?
Yes, that's the peculiarity of the case, in Ego's words, and this just happened to come up. Okay, fine. Let's get to it. I braced myself and focused my mind, determined not to miss a word. If I notice something, speak up. Everyone's life depends on it. But no, I know what a non-stop debate is. Okay, wait, but actually, how do I play it? I should have, wait, hold on. Okay, monokuma file. Wait, what's my butt? Okay. Okay, the body is in classroom 1A, that's where it's found. Yep. He was probably killed while preparing the concert.
Iwada said that 6:30 to get ready. Boom!
No, this isn't it. I should have chosen carefully. The monokuma file contained brief information about Iwada's death. Now that I think back on what was written there, I think I might be onto something. Ouch!
First, we need to address the state of Iwada's body.
Yes, indeed. The cursor moves on its own sometimes. Look, I didn't move that. Look. It just moved.
Once he arrived at the classroom at 6:30, he was probably setting the stage.
Then the killer walked behind Iwada's back. They must have fought to kill Iwada. No. No, that's wrong! Intermission. Sorry, I'm just seeing if I can, like, save here. Yeah. Okay, that's where I can save. Cool. Good to know. Fighting? That's not possible.
Why?
According to the monokuma file, Iwada's body was clean except for the stab wound. If you had a fight with someone, it would have left a mark, right?
But they could have fought and accidentally left no trace. Ha! As far as thinking goes, if they were fighting with someone else, why would they end with a knife in their back? The only time a knife gets stuck in your back is when you're completely overpowered. But if you fought that hard, will it leave a mark? You don't think there wouldn't be left?
Sure.
Yeah. He's a broken man now.
Well, it's a natural part of the discussion, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of which, I should mention that
What is it?
Iwada was stabbed. Iwada's cause of death was blood choking with no other trauma. The only force the attacker used against Iwada was a single stabbing motion. I asked Kizuki, and she said it was quite the gamble. Is that true, Kizuki?
Yes, exactly. If the culprit wanted to kill Iwada for sure, they would have used a different method. The most obvious way is to pull out the knife and stab several times.
I get goosebumps just thinking about it.
So, is it safe to say that the killer was lucky to get away with the murder?
It's easy to understand it that way.
Why did they do that? It would have been much better to kill for certain.
Can't you tell? I can tell. I can see that by the look on your face.
What?
Can't guess? It's the blood.
Blood? Are you referring to the blood stain?
Yes, that's right. The killer didn't want blood on them.
With Ego's comment, the debate entered a new phase. Let's listen to Ego's idea. Didn't I just do one of these? What? Why would I need an explanation? I should have taken it because I don't know how to, like, stop time or anything like that, but... Yeah, cloth. Okay. The killer didn't want to be covered in blood. That's my argument, and it's true. Oh, yes, ma'am. When you pull out a knife, blood rises according to the heartbeat, right? Sure. That's why they couldn't pull a knife in front or stab them multiple times. That is certainly a possibility.
But there's no evidence to support that, right?
Boom! Here's the evidence.
No! That's wrong!
Ah, sorry!
Okay, I'm not gonna save here. Unless, watch that be the last save until the end of the trial.
Fukuoka, just out of curiosity, you've never been to the scene?
I was there.
Is it because she didn't see the gray lump next to the corpse? Shouldn't the person who did the research on this be given the right to speak?
I saw it, but what exactly is it?
The cloth was crumpled and bunched up, lightly stained with Iwada's blood. Based on the shape and placement of the blood, it's reasonable to assume that it was used to stop Iwada's blood.
I see. Where did they get that cloth?
That is... from the warehouse! Poggers! The Poggers! Based on what Shinano's video camera happened to catch, it was originally in the warehouse.
I heard about it directly from him. How did you manage to find that? I just got a little lucky. I walked around this school all day with my camera on. It's not that surprising to get it recorded.
Then the culprit was really trying to stop the blood. If you've ever held it, you'll know that it's not only big, but because of the material it's made of, it's quite heavy for its volume. The killer would have stabbed Mr. Iwada with a knife while holding the cloth in their other hand to catch the blood that splashed out.
That's counting if they have 3 arms.
If it's that heavy, it's definitely unnatural to hold it with one hand. That's why I put it in my cello case.
That's right! The killer would have approached Mr. Iwada with a bizarre gait, holding a heavy cloth in one hand and a knife in the other.
The cloth would have been thrust forward, and the knife would have been thrust forward even more. It's ugly to think about. And when they thrust their knife forward to stab Iwada, they must have been wobbling badly because of the weight they were placed from behind. The perpetrator isn't stupid and should have thought of that when they brought the cloth to the crime scene. But the culprit still took the cloth. Why?
Because it was necessary, maybe?
Yes, because it was worth the risk to stop the blood. For instance, the blood splattered on their clothes. The killer might have paid attention to that. What other choice did the perpetrator have but to bring the heavy cloth to the scene for that sole purpose? For example, prepare a lighter fabric or use their own clothes. I'd already looked into that. Judging by the size and weight, that would be the most likely choice for the culprit. And don't you think it's a little silly to ask if he can use clothes? They would not leave the cloth on the ground. From the killer's point of view, it's just a bit of Iwada's blood. That item would be the easiest thing to throw away and get away with. If you use your own clothes, you're just advertising that you're the culprit. Yeah.
But what if they didn't throw it away?
The killer? Do you think there is a reason for that?
There isn't.
First of all, I don't know how they would answer the question of why they're carrying an extra large cloth if they run into someone. If your route overlaps with the laundry room and you can make the excuse that you are on your way to the laundry room, you're in luck. If not, you're in trouble. Flashback to Jumanji. Psh, I'm in the laundry room. Psh. Jumanji, you're looking awfully sus. And even if you manage to get it safely to a private room, it takes time to wash the blood off. Even if you don't wash it and just hide it, it's hard to say no to someone who wants to search your private room, and it takes time to burn. All of the killer's actions are predicted on the premise that the body will be found in a short time later. Why not eliminate all unnecessary suspicious behavior? Thanks for doing the talking for me.
Yeah, that would be a lot of work.
To summarize, the culprit was holding that heavy cloth with the intention of not allowing a single drop of blood to splash on them. And the act of not pulling the knife out of the corpse?
Yes, that's the idea.
But discussion doesn't move forward, that's all. The killer is reluctant to blood, yes, that's clear.
When you think about it, it's not that surprising. Psychologically and rationally, a murderer wouldn't want to have blood on their body. Yeah, that's a given.
Then...
We're not finished. This is just the process to get to that obvious fact. And now this is the real deal.
Not only are you overlooking something more important, you don't even realize you're overlooking it. What is it? Tell me with no more pause. Do tell me with no more pause. Without one more pause, I do declare, do not dilly-dally. You don't even think about it without using your eyes. Hey, Shitanda, can I say it? Can I just say it? I don't know if we're thinking the same thing as you. What's with that aesthetic attitude? Fine, I'll say it. We went so far as to say that the killer was extremely reluctant to have blood splashed on them. If so, the culprit was looking out for others' eyes. Others? You mean everyone but the killer? Of course. Is there anyone else out there who's living face to face with us?
Someone else? Whoa! I thought you were asleep. She went back to sleep.
Hello?
Someone else.
Moving on. Here's the kicker. When did the culprit carry the cloth to the scene?
Huh? Was it not when they were committing the crime?
Do you think before you speak?
What? Did I miss something?
Let me just explain.
No, Ego, I think I know. When the killer moved the cloth to the scene, the morning before... When did the killer... Okay, yeah. The morning of the incident or the night before? My guess is it's the night before. Okay, well, here's my actual guess. I think that Tadaira brought it in her cello case the morning of, right? She brings it in and then the guy's like, oh, hey, what's up? I didn't know that you were gonna be here today. Like, are you just gonna be setting up your stuff? Like, I'm getting the room ready still. And she's like,
oh yes, go ahead and do that. Don't mind me, I'll just be back here.
and then she's like getting her cello unzipped and then she grabs her cloth and she grabs her knife and then like while his back is turned, she kills him, right? But it really could have been either or. Because she could have just brought it that night and been like,
Oh, this is for the event.
but that would have been a bit more risky because then she would have been tied to the cloth. I'm gonna go with the morning of. No, that's not right. Let me think about it more. The night before.
Koreda!
The night before the incident, or at least close to that time.
At least there's one guy with a brain.
That's what that was actually my first guess too, so.
Why then? I have no idea. I think I get it. We've already deduced that the culprit was extremely concerned about being seen. It is unlikely that such a culprit would have cared about what others thought when they moved the cloth, right?
Oh, that was it?
That cloth was bulky. If it was the size of the kitchen knife, they could have wrapped it with tissues or other items and hidden it inside your clothes. But the cloth was not an item that could be hidden at all. According to Shinino, the culprit somehow managed to get the cloth from the warehouse to the scene. If these two places were right next to each other, it would be a different story, but they're somewhat separated.
You're walking from the classroom to a private room or restroom, and you're nervous about being spotted with blood on you. You're telling me they would have been wary of being caught carrying cloth from the warehouse to the classroom?
Exactly. It's suicide to carry something as conspicuous as a cloth out in the open when your body is about to be found. I'm sorry.
I don't know about the weapon, but I don't think getting caught carrying something like a cloth would be that deadly. Oh. What is going on with your brain cells? Say you saw a guy walking around with a big, heavy, suspicious-looking cloth. Later, the cloth is lying at the scene of the murder. Isn't it pretty obvious what it's pointing to? I guess so.
In their defense, they may have intended to take the cloth back and just didn't work out, and they leave it behind.
Bullshit. Bullshit.
At that point, you're making excuses for them. Didn't you hear what Miyuki and Shitanda said about the clothes earlier?
You mean the cloth?
You'd be already drawing attention to yourself by carrying that cloth around. I don't think it's psychologically possible to do something that someone who's going to commit murder would do something like that. Another reason, the fact that your hands could be covered in blood. Isn't it easier to just leave it on the scene than to get rid of it? It's more of a nuisance, really. Do you want to continue this defense, Mr. Knight?
What's with the nickname? Call people by their names.
Wait, am I Mr. Knight? Trying to defend a killer like this, and I'm being called for names? I'll just keep my mouth shut. If we're clear, let's move on. We were talking about what the perpetrator brought the cloth to the scene. When the perpetrator brought the cloth to the scene, right?
At least the killer didn't take the cloth at the time of the murder. They were looking for an inconspicuous moment.
Once again, the most appropriate time would be at a nighttime, when few people are awake.
You mean the culprit moved the cloth in the middle of the night? That's a mistake, because then I was circling, patrolling. I did, but I never saw the killer. In the end, Iwada's death was my fault.
What? You've been on patrol in the middle of the night? Since when?
Nighttime start to finish, no dropouts.
You didn't sleep?
I'm used to vigils. A few hours of nap is enough. Now you know. Your methods are flawed, leader. But I, too, failed to keep Iwada safe. I have no right to blame you.
I'll take my well-deserved punishment later.
Okay, let's put aside the question of who's wearing the armband here. What we need to focus on now is when the killer moved the cloth.
Didn't you mention that at nighttime, the night before was probably the best time to take the cloth away?
What?
Yes, they wouldn't have had a chance outside of that time during the day. The reason for that is... everyone's testimonies, maybe? No, that's not right. Let me think about it more. The only time the killer could have gotten the cloth to the scene was at nighttime last night, and we have solid evidence, okay? Because they were in there for the concert, they got together in that room, maybe? I don't know. When Iwada decided to be in Class 1A, it was near the end of a meeting to organize a concert the day before, and it was a little after nighttime. Why would Iwada have brought the cloth in advance if he didn't know where it would be at any given time? I mean, as far as I can tell, since 10 p.m. last night.
Yeah, everyone understands this, right? I'm talking about suspicious people.
Even though Iwada told them in advance when he would be in Class 1A, not everyone heard him. The people who could hear that were... Flash anagram. Yeah, what's that? Oh, okay. Please tell me they're not in Japanese kanji. Okay, concert. Concert. All right, ready? I'm gonna get it. All right. Whatcha? Oh, do I need to hit it multiple times? Okay, hold on.
Whatcha? Whatcha? Whatcha?
What?
Ah!
I like how the R and the T are in the last thing squeezed together. It has to be this, is probably what he said. 4 people made the concert. That means the culprit is among these people.
Just before the class trial began, according to testimony heard in front of the elevator, the 4 of you had never spoken about the concert in advance. This means we can safely narrow our suspect pool to 4. Well, no one's going to change their testimony like an idiot now, are they?
Guys, it's not me. You know that, right?
There's no way I'm a murderer. It's too much for a little body like mine. Look at my little body. I'm like 4 feet tall.
I'm not a big guy either. I'm like 4 feet tall. How can someone like me just kill people? I think that's a different issue. I'm stumped on this one. I did it.
Calm down, Shinano. We haven't even identified you guys as the culprit yet. If you were in the killer's position, that will only make you more suspicious.
Whether they're the culprit or not, we'll see. I'm just going after the facts. So the conclusion is, the killer brought the cloth to the scene beforehand and used it to commit the crime?
Yeah, that's right. I'm sure Iwada snuck it into a place where it couldn't be moved, like a locker in the back of the classroom. Or maybe it's the classroom next door, which doesn't really matter, since there's almost no difference in location between the two.
Uh-huh. I see. I got it.
Going from 15 suspects to 4 is a very big achievement.
I'm surprised you're able to draw this much inference from only a piece of cloth lying on the ground.
Yes, it's an important piece of evidence with the victim's blood on it, but I didn't expect it to be used like this. It's a huge accomplishment.
Not sure. Is it really okay to proceed as it is? What? I'm asking if it's okay to trust that guess. You reasoned this with me, so why are you doubting it now? Of course, I'm aware we thought about it together, so I'm certain there are no errors. What I'm saying is that there are other possibilities.
Can you elaborate on that, Mr. Shitonda?
Our reasoning is based on the fact that taking the cloth is suspicious. Does it have to be? Of course. If you want to hide the cloth naturally, you have no other clothes left. You have to do it in some other way, but that method is more unnatural. It's a big cloth, so of course the things it's used to hide have to be big too. And the things that stand out are... Oh crap! What? What's that supposed to mean? Did I fail to notice this possibility and ignored it? I'm sorry, everyone. Feel free to yell at my name. Mayu Ego!
Wow! Is this a chance for revenge?
Time to unite those who have been ignored by Ego.
I'll have plenty of words for you after the trial. Anyway, what was that oversight?
She literally said it. Didn't Ego mention that such a big cloth was carried? So the things it hides must be big too. And the same goes for things that stand out. But there are people among us who can't stand out even when they're carrying something big, right? They've been carrying it since our first meeting.
Don't tell me. Who's the suspect?
Dun, 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 dun. Ain't no way the class trial's over, by the way. Ain't no way it's over. But come on, you can't tell me I didn't call this.
Are you referring to Tadaira?
I mean, she was a part of the concert anyway, right? So it's not like that narrowed down our suspect pool any less. It just narrowed it down even more because they finally got some brain cells up in here. Class trial resumed. So that was a halfway point, huh? That's too short. I'm too good at this game. I'm too fast. I think I take it all the way.
Yes? Tadaira, you can't be serious. Who else could it be? Among the 15 of us, Tadaira is the only one who carries something this big. That cello bag.
That's...
If it was a violin, maybe not, but a cello is pretty big and so is the bag. If you take the cello out and crumple the cloth inside, it should be about the right size. The fact that the cloth was left at the scene in that state might also support this.
No, there are only 2 times I take my cello out of my bag. When I play it, and when I take care of it. I didn't take out a cello to hide a cloth inside.
Pfft, you call that a counter-argument?
Why don't we leave it at that? It's not like Tadaira has been identified as the culprit. There are still 2 paths open to us. I see 2 paths. Is it possible that the perpetrator concealed the cloth with something and carried it openly? Or is it possible that the culprit carried it sneakily without concealment? The former is only available to Tadaira, and the latter is only available to the concert organizers. Either way, there's Tadaira involved, but in the end, it's useless unless it's reduced to the likelihood of the latter.
unless it reduces the likelihood of the latter. Don't you think?
Sure. Miss Misaki is right. As long as the latter possibilities remain, pressing the opponent towards the former won't lead to a clear conclusion.
Well, that's true. So let's take a step back this time.
An indiscreet attack and suddenly backing off, not good attitude.
I just offered the possibility. Or did you want to take a look at it as an indiscretion on someone we don't know? What?
Even so, you can hide it. You can remember it, right? The killer hid the cloth and took it to the scene. In the end, the story of the concert should be back on track. It's not possible to make a final decision without the end of the story.
Then, where do we proceed with the story further? How about this? I've been wondering something a while back.
Anything is good. Can you tell us, please?
Why didn't Iwada move? You would try to move while being stabbed.
Do you have the confidence to crawl your back? Do you have the confidence to crawl your back with a knife in your back and ask for help? I don't have it. I don't have it either, bro.
I didn't know what to say when you put it that way.
Neither do I.
But I thought it was a little weird that he didn't move a single step.
How do we know that? Iwada's cause of death was asphyxiation, so it must have been quite a while before he choked on his own blood. It's a little concerning that he did not move at all. Do you have any autopsy results that you're not sharing with us, Kizuki?
No, I've told you, and that's it. I don't have any more information, so I'm guessing at this point. For example, he may have been knocked out by a blow to the lungs. Maybe he was knocked down by a sudden attack and had an unfortunate bump on the floor or furniture, resulting in a concussion.
Iwada's body. There was no trauma other than stab wound. Is concussion possible?
Head trauma is when the skull is damaged or the brain is traumatized. It may not show up on the surface. That's why I said it's a guessing game.
Mr. Iwada was also incapacitated by the stabbing, so even a mild concussion could have left him immobile.
Perhaps. Not sure if it's a fainting or a concussion. It's a shame because if he had been able to move at all, he might have been able to reach out for help somehow. If he'd screamed, maybe someone would have heard him. That's ridiculous. The knife was stuck in his lungs. Huh? Oh, of course you're going to scream when you're in pain. He's been stabbed in his lungs, right? How do I explain this? You know that the lungs expand when air comes in and shrinks when air goes out, right? Wow, really?
What a nitwit. Did you fall asleep in life science or humanities? Why are we suddenly talking about this? An idiot will always remain idiot, no matter what.
I don't have any secondary education because I rarely take classes in the first place. Sorry about that, you highly educated people. Think of your lungs as a kind of balloon. They inflate when air comes in and deflate when air goes out. So, what if you poke a needle into this balloon? It's going to explode, right?
Ew. Oh.
The lungs are similar. They don't explode, but the pressure difference between the outside and inside is significantly reduced. It can no longer hold air. Because your voice is the sound of air in your lungs going through your vocal cords, right? This makes it hard to make a voice when you have a big hole in your lungs. This is why Iwada couldn't scream. I see now.
Yes, Tsubaki, you did a good job pointing that out. Let's move the story further from here. You said it yourself, didn't you? Iwada didn't move from his spot. Think about the condition in which the body was found. He was stabbed in the back. What if we take this idea further?
Echo seems to know something. What direction is she trying to take the conversation? I need to listen carefully to what's coming next.
No, well, shift to change bullets, S to skip phases, space to fire truth bullet, okay. Probably not Jumanji's account. Probably the squeaky floor, but I'm not certain. Being stabbed in the back. Obviously, he must have turned it towards his back when stabbed. If he turned forward, he wouldn't have had a knife in his back.
This eliminates the chance that Iwada may have fought.
Iwada didn't know the culprit's...
Iwada didn't know the culprit's face. He was stabbed without being able to see clearly.
Iwada must have been cleaning when it did. It's not strange if he didn't look behind.
No, it is strange. Okay, that's where I'm gonna do it. Okay. If only he could see who the culprit was.
He could have made a dying message.
It was not possible to begin with. Lack of blood.
Leon. Iwada must have been looking on his back. Wait, he was looking on his back? If we look at the evidence we've collected. Sure. Well, wouldn't that be strange?
Huh? What do you mean?
No one else but you, as a concert goer who has been at the scene longer than most, should know that. The floor in Class 1A is very squeaky, remember?
Oh, come to think of it, that's true, isn't it?
It was definitely bad, and I was walking as quietly as I could for fear of disturbing everyone if I made a sound. I can't believe I sounded that loud. I've become an inconvenience again. The point is, if the footsteps were that loud, there's no way Iwada wouldn't have turned around. It's not that he's insensitive, it's just that he's a very polarizing guy, and there's no way he would have given up his back so easily.
What if they killed the sound by putting something other than shoes on your feet?
Even so, it's pressure on the floor anyway, so shouldn't it make a sound?
What if you're walking on a desk or chair instead of the floor?
Even so, it's pressure on the floor anyway, so shouldn't it make a sound? And what about when you have to go from their desk to the floor? They're trying to be as careful as possible, but their belly button is bigger than their stomach.
Right, what do you mean?
First, the culprit planned this to a very meticulous extent, as evidenced by their behavior in preparing the cloth. But how the desks will be arranged when they get to the classroom is a pure gamble. The meeting didn't give them detailed instructions on how the desks were set up. A killer who prepares a cloth while planning a murder, taking into account the blood splatter. Don't you think it's weird to think that how they approach their victim is left up to the heavens?
Gee, guess this isn't my place to be. Excuse me, how thorough is your reasoning that you can just make an opinion and get a rebuttal in real time so easy? So quickly.
Given the environment of the classroom, it was bound to make noise, and yet Iwada never looked back. Why?
Maybe Iwada had something in his ears? Like earplugs or something.
This is refutable for a couple of reasons. First, there was no such object anywhere near Iwada's body. Second, Iwada's chores didn't require such things. And third, those things don't exist in the school we've checked, because the guy sleeps better with earplugs in, and he asked monokuma and everything. Sorry, I was just considering the possibility if it was Mr. Deku himself, but I don't think that's possible.
It could have been taken by a culprit for whatever reason. Or maybe Iwada just doesn't like to make noise when he's doing his normal work.
Crucially, Iwada wouldn't let his guard down. If he's out in the open on his own, will he shut off his senses of his own will?
But there's more evidence. Monokuma said something to someone.
Someone?
Fukuoka's words reminded me of that. The one who said that was... Did I seriously just go all the way around? Is that actually like a kid voice acting that? It kind of sounds like it. Mikawa.
This guy somehow has managed to pee in front of that bear? What? Oh, hasn't managed? Oh, okay. Me?
Yes, Mikawa. If you remember, can you tell us?
That's... I heard something from Monokuma.
Wow, he's vibrating. It's like a human motor. It's a me, like a human motor.
Mikawa, calm down. But they are all expecting my testimony. I never had so many people expecting something from me. I can't stand all these eyes on me. What kind of sickness is this? He's not going to be able to testify to anything, so it might be beneficial to look away, don't you think? Wait, I think I got it. You mean that time in the diner when he said Mikawa used the earplugs because of his sleeping habits? After that, Monokuma told him there are no earplugs or anything like that here. Aha, I get it. That's much more reliable and direct information than my reasoning. Thank you. What's wrong? Why are you looking at me like that?
No, I thought the treatment was different somehow.
It was a treatment for a person who doesn't help. Do you have any complaints? What? Alright, so it's safe to say that your opinion has been crushed, Fukuoka.
Yeah, that does make sense. Stop crushing my opinions.
That's because...
君はそんな程度じゃないよ、トラは。
Whatever he said.
Wait, don't give up so easily.
What is it?
Well, the topic right now is about the possibility that Iwada didn't hear those footsteps, correct? There are plenty of other possibilities for that reason.
Sure. Up, down, left, right. Okay. Use the current truth blade by pressing spacebar. Okay. Cool. Oh boy. Okay. Jumanji's account, probably.
The possibility presented by Fukuoka isn't the end. Isn't the possibility the floor sound was obscured by a sound, but did you not consider that? I can't believe we went over this without even mentioning. Everyone's so impatient. Ow.
Oh, I have to alternate between them. Okay. What on earth does Shitana want to talk about so suddenly? Oh, shoot. That's my bad. No, that's my bad. Okay. Obscured by other sounds? Even so, Iwada would have been wary when hearing that sound.
You're still not thinking? There's no basis for no other sound.
Yeah, Jumanji's count. Bam, got him. Get wrecked. No, Shitanda. I've heard someone tell us something about that. Jumanji said she's been in the laundry room since 6 a.m. and hasn't seen or heard anything.
I did mention that. I've been in the laundry room since 6, and I haven't seen or heard anything.
Yeah, that's what I said.
The laundry room and diner are close by. I'm sure the conditions for hearing sounds in the diner, laundry room, and classrooms are similar. But we don't know if a sound from the classroom will reach the diner, do we?
Yeah, I'd be comfortable with that if we had a solid reason. There's certainly evidence to support that. You remember, Misaki? Kuzu, Tomo, and Tadaira were there, so you guys know too. Oh, are you referring to that time when Mr. Mikawa found a spider corpse in his desk? Yeah, Mikawa let out a scream inside the 1B classroom that was heard by all 4 of us, all the way through the diner.
If it was loud enough to drown out the sound of the floor, yeah, how could it not have reached Jumanji's ears? Well, that is a pretty good argument.
Shitanda, you have a point, but the fact is, that's a flawed line of reasoning.
It's a possibility that should have been mentioned in the first place. Why did you have to go off on your own, Shitanda?
What? Did you have that in mind too? I shouldn't have done that.
How could you be so confident about that without considering this, right?
What? Why are you talking this like something you two knew?
This sounds a bit odd. It sounds like Ego and Shitanda are talking like they knew the correct answer. Yeah, Miyuki just said that Shitanda's reasonings were wrong, but the truth is the opposite, which means Shitanda is correct.
What? Excuse me? There's nothing more to say about a sound loud enough to erase the sound on the floor. What do you have in mind? Referring to that possibility, perhaps Jumanji's testimony was mistaken.
There's no way. Jumanji has already been eliminated as a suspect, so her testimony is credible. In other words, there are things that even Jumanji wouldn't have noticed.
It can't be.
Miyuki, did you think of something?
Yeah, I see why Iwada didn't turn around when he heard it. That is because...
Because of what?
Alarm? Ah, okay. Did it at the morning alarm. Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, they did make a point about how loud the alarm is. That's kind of genius. I'm not gonna lie. It's because of that wake-up alarm. That loud announcement. The one that rings at 7 o'clock sharp.
That's right. We never thought about this morning announcement.
Tadaira, you thought of it. You're the killer. Yeah, it's a loud sound in the morning hours that everybody knows. It's basically nothing but an announcement. It's not that no one heard it, but that no one was aware of it. We were completely caught off guard.
Is this my fault?
That's not true. Honestly, I think it's strange that people would care to notice something like that.
Well, if the lack of thinking is at fault, should I say that's a flaw to begin with?
In other words, they took advantage of the time when the morning announcement was going off and walked behind Iwada so that no footsteps could be heard? So that's how it happened. Even though the sound wasn't loud enough to completely cover up the footsteps, Mr. Iwada's eyes would be focused on the monitor for a moment. So they would have taken advantage of that opportunity. In fact, the wake-up alarm was loud enough to make this assumption meaningful.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I'm spooked every time I hear it.
Then it has been explained why Mr. Iwada did not look back. I had no idea that the morning announcement was used for this plot.
Yes, and there's a fact that follows from this. The wake-up alarm goes off at 7 a.m., so the time of the crime is 7 o'clock sharp. Of course, there may be an error of a few seconds from the perfect 7 o'clock sharp.
The estimated time of death written in the monokuma file was between 6 and 7:30 a.m., right? The length of 1 hour and 30 minutes was narrowed down to an instant. With this, well, we can reduce one more person.
It's as they say. According to the testimony we've already heard, there were 2 people with alibis at 7 o'clock sharp. Misaki Kuzu and Rintaro Tomo.
That's true. That's true.
You said you saw each other coming out of the private room at 7 o'clock sharp, right?
I saw him coming out of his room at 7 o'clock sharp.
Oh, I saw her doing that too. Yes, I did. As soon as the alarm rang, we opened the door and saw each other. I can say that there was no mistake there. Since I am not currently a suspect, you can certainly trust my testimony, right? I, Tomo Rintaro, definitely guarantees this.
There's no doubt about it, Kuzu. You're off the suspect list. Oh! It's good that doubts about me have been cleared. But what about the rest? Is there any way to exclude more suspects? Of course there is. The fact that the time of the crime is exactly 7 a.m., there's still a way to use it.
And that fact might be...
The culprit had a weapon ready before 7 a.m. The culprit has an alibi at 7 a.m. Iwada wasn't in the classroom at 7 a.m. I'm a little unsure. I'm gonna be honest, I'm totally clueless.
They had a weapon available, turns out. You mean the culprit had prepared the weapon before 7 a.m.? There's no way the weapon could have come out of nowhere else. Nowhere. There's no way the weapon could have come out of nowhere at exactly 7 a.m.
That's exactly what it means. They'd be looking for a chance before 7 o'clock, holding a kitchen knife in their hand, waiting for the morning announcement to go off, hoping that the sound of the floor would be sufficiently obscured.
If that's the case, how is it connected to the culprit?
You still don't know? If you think about the characteristics of the weapon, you can see it, right?
Characteristics of the weapon? I don't know clearly yet. Should we discuss this together?
Yes, let us shall. Ego's account. I don't quite remember what it is, but that sounds about right. We haven't used that one yet.
Characteristics of the weapon?
Does this mean there is something unique about that knife? Oh yeah, Ego.
Just think about it. A knife is sharp.
True.
It has a blade on one side.
Yep. You're thinking too simplistically. That's not it.
Additionally, the weapon was inside the kitchen.
No, bam, bam, pow, pow.
Ooh.
However, there were no witnesses present.
Just kidding! Got it! Yep.
That's actually not true, Justin. There are witnesses. Very good news! Hope to hear it. Before we get to that, Ego, you sure you didn't tell everyone about this testimony?
Huh? No, that's unlikely. He probably wasn't paying attention.
Justin, is that correct? I think it's possible. It requires thinking skills. It's difficult judging evidence and testimony.
He caught all kinds of criminals, but in the end, Sakura, anyone? He confidently said that he would provide help.
I apologize, my lack of...
Jumanji, are you in a position to say that? I've seen you glancing at a few pages of a book in between this whole discussion. I am listening and understanding this. Anyway, most people already heard it, right? I saw all 4 knives were still in the diner until 7 p.m.
So that means the culprit took the knife after 7 p.m. I wish we could reduce the time.
it can be reduced, which is why we're having this topic right now.
Really?
Of course, that's where the keyword time of the crime shines again.
Mr. Shitanda and Miss Ego, do you mind if I ask a question? How much do you know? You two have been leading most of the discussions for a while, Mr. Shitanda and Miss Ego. It's like you know everything and point out the topics as we go.
If you are starting to suspect me, then I have nothing more to say. Even if I tell you, it doesn't matter. I already know who the culprit is.
Me too, roughly. I still need to verify it.
Didn't you mention you didn't know before the trial began? I guess I lost some humility in that regard. I spoke confidently, but wouldn't it be shameful if the answer was wrong? I reconsidered it several times, and it seemed my initial conclusion was reasonable.
Then why are you dragging on? You can just tell us, right?
Those words struck hard. If this seems like dragging to you, then you really don't understand the point of the class trial.
What?
Let's say as an example, I say the culprit's name first. Then of course, countless of question marks will follow. Why are they the culprit? Then I will have to explain these questions one by one on why they're the culprit. This won't be the best course of action for your own good, which is why it will take considerable time to understand. More importantly, the culprit will hear my explanation and immediately put up an excuse on the spot, which gives the culprit room to fight back.
But if the discussion leads to a consensus that points to the culprit, then such culprit's escape route will be blocked?
That is exactly my point. Do you understand, Sobaki?
I think so. No, wait, why are you picking on me? It was Shinano who asked the question.
Either way, does the fact that the crime was committed at 7 a.m. help narrow down the time when the culprit took the weapon?
Of course, this was also laid out pretty clearly.
I think we already know. The place where the kitchen knives exists is obviously the kitchen. Just before the class trial, Mr. Shitanda asked a question through Miss Misaki's mouth. According to the question, no one moved the kitchen knife.
No one moved the kitchen knife. I guess that question was aimed for this purpose, right?
Of course, can't miss a little validation.
So, the knife was in the kitchen until the killer took it? Ah, I think I understand. So it can be said with certainty that the culprit took the kitchen knife at least not this morning. What? Why is that? If you think about it, it's only natural, because the diner is closed before 7 a.m. That's right! It may not be that surprising, but I was definitely hidden on a blind spot this time. We were so preoccupied with the concept of the time of the crime that we forgot to connect it to the facts that were clearly given to us. The culprit committed the crime at 7 a.m. this morning, which of course, they must prepare the weapon in advance. But the diner is closed until 7 a.m., so they can't get to the kitchen, which is only accessible through the diner, so they can't take it out at any time. So this is how everything played out. From 10 p.m. last night when the diner was locked it was closed at 10, okay. From 10 p.m. last night when the diner was locked to 7 a.m. this morning, it was impossible. And since Ego testified to seeing the knife at 7 last night, the time the killer left with the weapon must have been between 7 and 10 p.m. yesterday. Okay, that makes sense.
In addition, the suspects are all related to the concert, and the organizers said that they had been in a meeting since 9 p.m., which would make the rest of the time from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. yesterday.
Yeah, and for all I know, there's a couple of people in between who have a full alibi.
Shinano, baby! Shinano, come here. Psst, 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 psst. Come here, Shinano. You're free! You're a good boy! You didn't do it!
One of them is even from the concert party. Guess who it is?
Yeah, I know. Their name is...
Shoji Shinano.
死ぬしかいないよ。
Shinishika
Shinano, you are not the killer. You are not the father. Because...
I like how simple this one is. It's like really, easing us into this.
Shinano was with Sarashina during this whole time.
True to his word, he interviewed me from 7 to 9 p.m. and as soon as he left the room, he was confronted by Misaki and their company. There'd be no time for him to obtain a knife. Yeah, it was definitely from 7 to 9, right? So I'm safe, right?
Alright, with that we've got one more person. One shot away from the killer. 2 suspects left. Let's see. If the killer was traveling with something like a cello bag to conceal the cloth, the suspect is Tadaira. And if they were not undercover, then the suspects are Tadaira and Fukuoka. But since Fukuoka's literally 3.5 feet tall and there's no way she could have carried that heavy cloth, and Tadaira had her cello bag, and she set up the entire event, I mean... Tadaira, there's no place for you to fit in, is there?
I'm not the culprit, I'm not. Actually, I could have fit it underneath my hat.
Woof, and there's a whole car under there. Then are you claiming that Miss Tadaira is the culprit?
It's not like that. I really don't know, but I'm not the culprit.
Well, I'm not saying that Tadaira is suspicious based on this alone. Has anyone else noticed?
The strange thing is,
Our discussion so far has revealed that Iwada was stabbed at 7 a.m., and Tadaira said she was going back to the classroom a little after 7 a.m. According to Tadaira's testimony, she hasn't done anything else in the meantime, so the time between when Kuzu finds her and when she arrives at the classroom should be similar. The situation in which Iwada disappeared somewhere during that time was originally clearly suspicious, but the deductions made so far have made it even more suspicious. Is it because Iwada was attacked at 7 a.m. and he fell on the classroom floor? Exactly. No matter how you look at it, it's perjury.
Bingo! I expected you thought about it at this point.
Please, everyone, trust me. You all know very well that I would never commit murder.
Do we know that? No, even if we try not to doubt you, it's just that no matter how we look at it, it seems like you are the culprit. If you appeal to emotions like that, nothing can be solved. If you are not the killer, refute it with logical grounds. Why did you commit perjury? Unless you are the culprit, there is no way you would dare to make such a strange lie. You are the killer. Does anyone else have any other thoughts? Everyone agrees, right?
Tadaira is the killer. Is that really it? There certainly seems to be no loophole in Shitanda's claim, and it's not strange that Tadaira becomes the culprit. But some kind of alarm rings inside my head, as if I were at the crossroads to live or die. Maybe I'm missing something. Could it be that the conclusion we worked so hard to reach was simply a factor to make our thinking stop? But then, where do I start looking back on this case?
Excuse me.
Huh?
Ah!
This atmosphere is quite harsh. Can I say something?
Say it!
Excuse you, you idiot!
What's wrong, Kana?
I know what you're all thinking. Why is it that the guy who is spoiling the mood now is taking over? Is this it? So far, everyone was talking. I will too. Let's talk.
If you're going to talk at that pace, I'd rather you don't speak.
Ega, hush for now.
This mood right now, honestly, it's not good for you. Before you know it, you will be swept along, here and there, wherever Shitanda leads.
Swept away. That's a weird phrase, because what I'm doing is perfectly reasonable and logical. Did I contradict myself? Did I reach at straws? Did I make a logical leap? You all nodded in agreement, especially you, Kana. You haven't said a word all this time, and then all of a sudden you open your mouth and say something like that. I honestly have no idea what you're trying to say.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a situation where, at some point, we give up thinking and just listen to what Shitanda says. And you're in a situation where you only agree. That's what I mean.
Giving up on thinking? Are you not satisfied with this conclusion? If you have any other ideas, then let me know.
That? I don't know.
What? You don't know what you're saying? I know something else. If you're not going to contribute anything helpful, I'd appreciate it if you keep quiet, because it's distracting everyone.
It's a pretty rare sight for you to open your mouth. Are you overwhelmed by the atmosphere? Don't be afraid to talk about it. It's okay to be strong.
She always behaves like that. I don't think that's strange.
While it's true that Kana is known for her occasional outbursts, this one has a very different meaning than others. Is this just a mere feeling? I turn my head unconsciously towards Kana, whose mouth is firmly shut.
Oh!
What did I just realize? What's happening? Hello? The next moment, I was looking at Kana squarely in the eye. If we were to draw a line, we would meet exactly in a straight line, staring at each other without the slightest distraction, shining with unflinching brilliance. The power flowing through my eyes, which were wrapped in thick feather-like eyelashes, completely consumed me. Surprise transforms into fear. I hold my breath in a monologue of this unknown knowledge. To me, it was like being swept away by the tranquil waves while losing my footing. What did she do?
Miyuki?
Sorry, I was having a staring contest with Kana. I suddenly woke up. How long have I been on that state? Was I mistaken?
Are you okay? You've been standing for a long time in a dazed position.
I'm fine. It's nothing special, just... somehow, I happened to realize something. I have to give this credit to Kana.
What? What are you talking about? What did you realize? Miyuki, your choice of wedding is odd. I'm guessing you know something different than what Shitanda thinks?
I can say, I know the truth about this case.
Oh yeah? Let's hear it, shall we?
Sure, but there's a catch.
What is it?
What I'm about to tell you may be a great disrespect towards Tadaira. I'm not even sure I can justify doing this. Tadaira, will you be okay?
Depends on what you say! Is this really the only way to do this?
I'm really sorry. If I could have thought of any other way, I would have taken it. But I'm not good enough.
What? Are you talking about something that's only between you two?
Would you rather I reveal it myself?
It'll look better if I tell them than you do. Just in case there's someone who would nitpick.
If you have to, it can't be helped. It might have been something that I should have mentioned anyway. Thank you, Miyuki.
I'm so sorry, and thank you.
Hey, Miyuki, I got this.
Huh?
What you're trying to say, I'll say it. You say you'll tell us, but you're just dragging our feet now.
No, I was gonna say it. No, let me say it.
No, they're talking about something only they know. Please put some pressure on it too.
It's no big deal. I know what Miyuki was trying to say.
Ego took the initiative from me very naturally. Why? Is it really because of my delay? Tadaira has complied, and there's nothing more to worry about anymore. But isn't this a bit of an unnatural reason? What do you mean? Weren't you here when Mr. Shitanda was framing Miss Tadaira as the culprit?
Ah, yes. We should get that out of the way first. Let's start with this one. Hey, Shitanda.
Huh?
How long are you going to do that shit? I've been watching, but I don't know how long I can wait.
Yep, it's not like you didn't notice.
That... Ego, what do you mean? The bottom line is, Shitanda was looking at her. The truth is, he was testing you by stopping one step short of the truth. In that aspect, Kana just hit the nail on the head. I don't know if she intended to, but...
Shitanda, is that true?
Of course. To return to what he told you, there is no way he didn't notice the truth.
First, let's hear what the truth is. The players over there are eager to know already and starting to pop off.
Yo, I'm popping off!
What do you mean, players?
No biggie, just ignore it.
I'd like an explanation too. I need to know this something before I'm convinced.
I agree. Ego, can you tell us?
Sure, let's begin the explanation.
I have no clue what's happening. What do you mean? It's Tadaira.
It's Tadaira. It's gotta be Tadaira.
It's gonna be her.
Everyone's alibi. First, you know everything about Tadaira's perjury, right? The context about Iwada's disappearance and discovery. Yeah. Iwada must have been stabbed since 7 a.m. while collapsing in the classroom.
We're referring about this.
Yeah? The cause of death was asphyxiation due to blood. It would have taken time to die from being stabbed. Anyway, this has nothing to do with the topic.
Iwada's body would have been lying in that place.
Wait, are you saying it's because it was too clean?
So what? Did the body move on his own feet?
Then,
So it's probably bloodstain, right?
is it possible someone else moved him against his will?
Ego's tone is a bit judgmental, but it is well founded. The basis for all this is in my head. Bloodstain, maybe. Disappearance and discovery. Might have been steps since 11. 7? So we're referring about this, yeah? Cause of death was asphyxiation due to blood. It would have taken time to die from being stabbed. This has nothing to do with this topic. Okay. Lying in that place after 7 a.m. Yeah, okay. Did the body move on his own feet? Then... Oops. No, I skipped it! Ah! It's probably bloodstain. I don't get what they're getting at here. Okay, I was right. But I don't get why I'm right. What was a bloodstain? Hold on, I gotta check the e-handbook. What bloodstain are we talking about again? Bloodstain. Hiruto was lying on his back with a stab wound deeply embedded in him, but since the knife hasn't been pulled out, he was bleeding less. There was a small amount of blood from his mouth, but no other bloodstains were present. I'm confused still. Willingly or not, the body wouldn't have moved in the first place. There's no trace of blood anywhere, only a little bit of oozing from his mouth and the stab wound.
Oh, right.
Even if there was a small amount of bloated blood and they can get over it by taking it in a container or something. The premise of the reasoning is that the killer was extremely averse to being seen. If such culprit was so thorough, I'm sure is what they mean to say. If such culprit was so throughout, do you think they would move the body? Did you think before saying that?
Oath! From now on, I, Hiyori Tsubaki, swear that I will never give an opinion during a class trial.
That's so valid of her. Well done, here's my seal of approval. In any case, we've established that Tadaira's testimony is completely contradictory. If the testimony is different from reality, there are two possibilities. The discrepancy was intended, or it wasn't.
So either they're lying or they're mistaken.
Okay, so before we get into each of these two possibilities, let's get this out of the way. Is Tadaira the culprit or not? I think I'm getting the picture. As we discussed at length, the killer was concerned with the eyes of others as much as possible. In other words, they've gone out of their way to avoid giving us even the slightest reason to suspect them. As if that wasn't bad enough, Tadaira was found wandering outside by Misaki. She even made the unbelievable statement that Iwada disappeared from the classroom. That's a good point. Oh, that's what they were talking about. That is a good point. That is a good point. And they're saying, like, if she's been so careful so as not to leave any blood stains on anything, and, like, if she's been this careful this far, why would she say earlier on in her testimony that she went to the classroom and he wasn't there? I don't know. She's probably just lying. It's unlikely that the set of behaviors are that actions of the culprit. Did she anticipate all of this, making those testimonies and actions? That said, that does sound like a stretch even for me. Without that kind of testimony and behavior, it's not even questionable. What point is there for the culprit to get our attention? They tried to bury themselves quietly as much as possible. But now we're down to 2 suspects anyway, which we still suspect. What if she said that with the expectation that it would lead to this point? Could they have anticipated the testimonies about Ego and the knife, my testimony about the cloth, and all the other trivialities? How on earth would she know that if she wasn't there? Whoa, Shinano, I can't believe you're capable of such logical thinking. What? You think I can't do that? Anyway, as he said, it's very strange that Tadaira is the culprit. Even so, we're back at this intersection.
It's because of 2 things, a lie or a mistake. Let's begin with the former. Why lie if you're not guilty?
Tadaira talks to Kuzu and comes to the conclusion that they need to mobilize Miyuki and Tomo to find Iwada. She would be discovered in a heartbeat, and she didn't want anyone else to see Iwada. It's hard to say that she was lying for an ulterior motive.
That leaves us with the possibility that she just made a mistake.
Isn't it strange? A corpse located in the middle of the classroom. I don't see the possibility that it suddenly disappears.
Did the culprit hide it somewhere else and bring it back for some reason? It was mentioned before. There's no way the body could be moved. It's unlikely that a killer who doesn't want to be seen would travel with a dead body. The body was there, and Tadaira just didn't see it. As Justin puts it, there's no way she could have walked past that body without seeing it. No way. My conclusion is this. Tadaira, you've...
What? 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 Oh my gosh. There's no way. There ain't no way. Is that seriously what we're doing here?
Tadaira, haven't you been hiding the fact that you're blind all along? I was bound to be found out eventually. Yes, that's correct. I am visually impaired. What? What? Oh, God. That's surprising. I didn't see that one coming. Since when has that been the case? It's been so long that I can't even remember it. Of course, it was a disease that I had long before I became famous.
None of us noticed the slightest bit. But how were you hiding it?
It's just natural, because I've always been very careful not to give away the fact that I'm blind. I was taught echolocation from a young age, and rarely left my room except to eat.
Echolocation? What the heck is that?
It's the technology that sends out sound waves, bounces them off things, and then listens to the sound waves that come back and guesses where things are. It takes a lot of discipline, but it works.
Sounds like a bat. Can we call you Batgirl now?
I wondered if it really was possible. I've read about it in a book. You can play sports like basketball. Is it true? Oh no, I can't play basketball. Indeed, some people do. Of course, I usually rely on my bodyguards, so I didn't need that level of mastery, just knowing where things are. I should have trained more thoroughly when I realized I was going to be dropped into an environment with no one around, let alone bodyguards. It took a long time for you to tell us. This was all you needed to avoid suspicion, isn't it? It might be a little selfish and rude to say, but I wanted you to eliminate me as a suspect by other means if possible. Of course, I thought I'd save this piece for last, if nothing else worked.
The selfish mindset. Not thinking. The possibility of being cornered. In that case, possibility exists. I don't understand. Is it right? It is right decision to say it beforehand.
Yes, I'm being selfish. I should have just started by saying I'm blind and you wouldn't have gone so far for me. But the last thing I wanted to do is expose the fact that I have a major deficiency in this hell. Now I'll just have to live by the light I've forgotten how to recall, because it was the only way I could survive. Shitanda? How long have you noticed this?
For a while, of course, and I've been keeping my silence to see how long she could hide it.
How is that possible? We didn't even notice.
Of course, it wasn't obvious in the little things you usually do, but the most decisive moment was at some point during the night when I didn't know anything. I couldn't sleep in the morning and I was bored, so I went outside. I wanted to walk around the school when no one was around. But somehow, I could hear something around me, see? I ducked and peeked, and Tadaira was moving around and making certain noises. That is, tick-tock-tick sound made by ticking your tongue with your mouth. That is when I realized this is something called echolocation.
Tadaira, what were you doing so early near dawn?
Wanna guess? Using echolocation. She was trying to memorize the map of the entire school in her head. Since the space is limited, all she had to do was memorize it, and that's over.
You even noticed that? I didn't even thought of getting caught like that. I've avoided Mr. Blade's eyes, but I've never thought about being noticed by Mr. Shitanda.
But I exist during the night for patrolling. Avoid me how?
Footsteps echoing in a quiet, confined space can tell you more than you think. If Mr. Blade was wandering around the gym, I'd avoid him by muffling my footsteps and moving toward the farthest private room. Isn't Mr. Blade wearing army boots? Your footsteps are a lot louder than everyone else's. Come to think of it, the fact that Tadaira is blind puts a piece to the puzzle together.
What does that mean?
When we
Oh. Whoa. When we saw the videos in the AV room.
But how can you not be disturbed when you find something like this? I feel like I have to leave right away just by hearing the sounds of it.
Aww. Wow. The clues were there that she was blind, huh? Don't you think that the expression is a little unnatural? Just by hearing the sounds of it, it's like you've only really heard the sound. Normally, I'd say just by looking at it, because vision is absolutely the most important of the human senses.
You remembered that?
There was another one, when the time we found the body.
Oh, there you are.
She didn't know that we found the body. And then she panicked, huh?
What's happening? Aww. Hey, wait. You're not gonna make me feel bad for suspecting Tadaira, game. You're not gonna make me feel bad. She's still the culprit. She's just blind. Oh, this is crazy. What? Who is it? It's not the chef.
Tomo immediately screamed when he saw the corpse, but Tadaira didn't react much, even though she was in almost the same position as Tomo. After Tomo called out Iwada's name, she realized that things were getting out of hand. Combine that with the information that the body was found shortly afterward, she then gets a pretty good idea of what's going on.
Wait a minute, isn't that a little odd? That would mean that Tadaira was in the same place as the corpse for a while, but if so, I don't think we can discount the possibility that she smelled blood and noticed the anomaly. It's also scientifically proven that blind people have 4 other senses that are better than sighted people.
I think I know why.
She doesn't have a sense of smell either.
大丈夫
Daijeppu.
I don't smell very well.
You're kidding me.
Tadaira said something during our meals. She can't smell things very well.
She definitely said that while talking with me, but I didn't think it was a big deal at the time.
Additionally, the knife was not pulled from the corpse, so there was very little external bleeding. At this rate, I don't think it's unreasonable to not notice it. But what do you guys think?
It's not unreasonable, I understand.
What happened to you to make you lose 2 of your sensory organs?
Well, to get back to the point, you don't have to answer that, Tadaira. I got you. Hey, don't talk to my lady like that. Hey, it's okay, babe. I never suspected you for a second. Tadaira's eyes probably can't take the light at all. It's unlikely that they would have found Iwada's body on the ground if they couldn't have seen even the slightest silhouette.
Medically speaking, it's called total blindness. Simply put, your field of vision is completely black and you can't see anything else.
By this reasoning, there is no contradiction. So then, shall we continue?
Huh?
There's echolocation, there's that testimony from Chitanda, but that's just circumstantial evidence, isn't it? Of course, the logical inference is that you are blind is very reasonable. However, it'd be nice to see a little more hard evidence. Eggle, that's a bit much. Her eyes have been closed this entire time. If she opens them, are they gonna be like cataracted over? The main basis of your logic that Tadaira isn't the killer is because she's blind. You deduced that, didn't you? It's just to be more clear. If there's evidence, the logic will be stronger. No, maybe we don't need logic at all. It's like Miss Ego said. Oh, it's like Miss Ego said. It's the truth, so why not see it through to the end? Then I'll show you my unquestionable proof. No way. And that's why looking at Kana's eyes gave it away to us too. Is because we could see Kana's eyes. We have never once seen Tadaira's eyes. As Tadaira said that. Wow.
Tadaira's eyes remained wide open.
Mikawa. Oh my god!
Tadaira's eyes, normally, we would have no chance to look so closely at her thin eyes. The pale green eyes were very cloudy, even when viewed from a distance, and had a strange color that seemed to seep into white. The difference from ordinary eyes was obvious at a glance.
Tadaira.
Is this the proof you wanted? Let's make it even more convincing, since we have to rule out possibilities like contact lenses.
Don't touch her eyes.
That's glaucoma. You went completely blind. You didn't get the treatment in time?
Dang.
Let's just say it's the product of a minor domestic incident. Is that enough to prove it?
I never suspected her. I have to admit it.
So then, there are two problems that remain to be solved, right? I assume everyone recalls.
You mean the one where the speculation was split between the possibility that the cloth was hidden and moved, and the possibility that it was hidden and moved beforehand?
The former corresponds with Tadaira. I was curious, but there's nothing we can speculate on anymore.
There were 2 people in the latter category, and now that Tadaira has been removed, the truth is out. The only person who can kill Iwada is... a 2-foot girl!
君しかいないよ。
Fukuoka Kotori. It can't be anyone else but you.
Huh?
What do you mean, huh? I'll ask, did you kill Iwada?
No way! There's no way I killed him! How could I, a small, slender girl like me, kill someone?
Well, I don't think that's the case here.
More importantly, why am I being singled out as the culprit?
Have you heard what we've discussed so far? Why do you nod your head when others explain things to your heart's content, but now you're like, oh, that's not what we're talking about?
This is why I didn't tell you who the culprit was from the start. Does it make sense now?
You keep quiet. Why are you shamelessly interjecting that you did something good here?
Oh, but you've been jumping all over the rest of them, calling them names when they say something ignorant.
Then I'll be the one to say it. It's offensive, so shut up.
I have nothing to say in that regard, then.
Whatever! I don't accept this result! I'm not the killer!
And what's your reasoning?
Fukuoka, if you're not really the culprit, we need your help. We might have made an error or misunderstood our reasoning. Can you help us then?
I can't lift that cloth! It would have been so obvious that I was carrying it too! Of course I can help! I'm not the culprit! I'll follow the logic of your accusation and refute it point by point, okay? Here goes!
Fukuoka is highly suspicious, but we shouldn't jump to conclusions about her. Let's listen to her words carefully.
Kizuki's account? Oh gosh, okay. Kizuki's account? Who's Kizuki? Is that who we're suspicious of? It's probably that. Where are you, Kizuki?
Let's say you start you first narrowed down the culprit to be among the concert goers. Knowing that Iwada would be inside that classroom, that is why we were able to get the cloth in advance.
They surely did.
Who's Kizuki?
No, Iwada may have gone to the classroom, but anyone could have committed the crime. Prepare a similar type of cloth if you can get it from anywhere.
You can't get it from anywhere.
Fukuoka's words are wrong, because you can't get it from anywhere. So, yeah, get wrecked, little girl. No, this isn't it. What?
Especially since there's a serious contradiction in what she just said. Ow. Refuting the first theory, okay. You first narrowed down the culprit to be among the concert organizers. Knowing that Iwada would be inside that classroom, that is why they were able to get the cloth in advance. They surely did. Who's Kizuki? Maybe Kizuki's account is right on this one?
No, that's not it.
Okay. Oh boy. It's not Ago's account. It's not Jumanji's account, right? I mean, Jumanji would know that... I don't know where the victim will appear then. I can't use that cloth, can I? Oh, am I supposed to I don't know. Okay, am I supposed to use... Wait. Am I supposed to use concert? Because she said if I don't know where the victim will appear... What? Did I use it on the wrong piece of evidence? Oh, did I just die?
What am I doing? Come on, focus, focus. I can't give up yet.
Okay, I'll focus. Kizuki. I don't know why I can't think of who keys. Kotori Fukuoka. Okay, so it's not her account. Iwada may have gone to the classroom, but anyone could have committed the crime. Prepare a similar type of cloth if you can get it from anywhere. But you can't. If I don't know where the victim will appear, then I can't use that cloth, can I? Jumanji's account? Is she trying to frame Jumanji? Is that what we're trying to do here? Is she trying to frame Jumanji with this one? Knowing that Iwada would be inside because, like, she was in the laundry room, so she should know that... No? Since I don't know what Kizuki's account is, I'm just gonna... No! Don't dodge up! No! I'm just gonna use it on both of them to make sure that I've hit it on both of them because I forget what I've already used it on. But, I don't think I've used it on this one right here. Wacha! No? I don't know who Kizuki is or what that account is. I'm running out of options here. I'm running out of options. It's not Mayu Ego's account. It's not. Why would it be Ego's account? Because all her account was saying is that there wasn't knives in the kitchen at this time, and so like, what would that make sense? First here, okay. First, narrow down the culprit being among the concert organizers. Knowing that Iwada would be inside that classroom, that's why they were able to get the cloth in advance. Okay. Well, what about the last one? Oh, it was Echo's account? Wait, what? Because what? You could get a cloth from inside the kitchen? Is that what we're trying to say here? Guys, I've been recording for so much longer than I usually do. But we're so close. I'm just gonna do it all in this video, okay? I understand what you're trying to say. So your point is, they used the cloth there because Iwada got into class 1A. In fact, every room had a cloth, right?
Convincing, right? I know there's actually a similar trick in magic.
That's called Magician's Choice. It's a trick that seems to allow the audience to make their own choices, but in the end, whatever they choose, the magician will play along.
Yeah, that part. It is all a trick.
But even so, that logic of yours is flawed, Fukuoka. According to Ego, the only cloth the killer could have used to stop the blood was the cloth used in the crime. Right.
I can't think of anything smaller and lighter than that cloth. I don't know what the cloth was used for in the warehouse, but I'm pretty sure the killer used it to stop the blood. See? It was practically the only cloth available for that purpose. That's what I found during my investigation. Yeah.
Which means the argument has no basis at all.
Miyuki, you can't judge a book by its cover. Naturally, the culprit would want to get rid of anything that might be evidence, right? It's no wonder the cloth wasn't found in other rooms during the investigation. Perhaps the killer kept it in their private room.
What kind of ridiculousness is this? If you're starting to look like you have nothing to say. Oh dear.
What was that?
This is obviously a stretch. You've lived here for a few days, you know. 7 a.m. is when most people in the school are up and about.
Of course, there are those who wake up and prepare from then on. Many people consider the 7 a.m. alarm to be the start of their day, so they're ready and out the door by then. Yet the culprit committed the crime at 7 a.m. It would have taken quite a bit of time to go through every room after that and collect the cloth.
I don't get what any of their points really are.
And what's the premise of this case? The killer had an extreme aversion to being seen. How many times do you think such a killer would have moved everywhere for no reason, apart from the fact that they were particularly concerned about the eyes of others?
Well?
It's hard enough to move a single cloth, let alone multiple cloths without us all seeing it. It's too contradictory to be the culprit's behavior.
Let me drive a wedge now. What is the reason for preparing the cloth? If you're alone, you're going to stab and run. If you have a knife, you're outnumbered.
It's not a question of Mr. Iwada coming to where alone. It's a question of whether Mr. Iwada will come to where alone. Will come to where alone. Sure. Without the information in the first place, it's impossible to anticipate the situation in which Mr. Iwada is left alone.
Without this information, it's just a bunch of traps and hoping to catch a rabbit. In other words, without the rationale, it's just platitudes.
You're right. It's definitely a stretch. What? Then why did you make that argument?
Their voices back to back? Are you kidding me?
I told you! I'm just refuting your logic and looking for loopholes. Sometimes the counter-argument is just plain silly. Moving on, what about the possibility that Iwada felt safe giving his back? Showing his back because he was organizing a concert with someone else. In this case, the culprit is limited to the people organizing the concert, but it's unlikely that they're targeting your 7 a.m. morning announcement theory. Even if they had an alibi at 7 a.m., they could still be the culprit, so we can't rule out Kuzu.
That's easy to refute too. As Tsubaki, Shinano, and Miyuki saw, Iwada didn't fully trust us. There's no way he would have left us back so easily in a room with just the two, or at the very least, he would have secured his own safety and continued on doing what he was doing.
Is this too much of a stretch? Next then! I heard that idiot earlier say that it is possible to distinguish objects through echolocation or something. Couldn't it have been used in the crime somehow?
Fukuoka, you're going a little crazy.
Echolocation isn't a one-size-fits-all technique. It's essentially a technique that utilizes sound, and if you can't make sound, it's useless. Tadaira would normally be using it as little as possible to avoid being recognized as blind. Not to mention, when she points the knife at Iwada, it's also hard to notice someone approaching when you're waiting for the broadcast to go off. It's also a challenge to not be able to figure out where the structure of things in the classroom by making noise because Iwada might hear it. More importantly, when the alarm goes off, the only thing you'll hear is the alarm, and when it goes off, it'll be like Tadaira is deaf and blind.
It's more likely to be interrupted by a well-developed sense of hearing. It would be unreasonable to use echolocation for murder.
Then it's possible that there was a sound and Iwada didn't suspect.
I'm tired of hearing you now. If you're going to argue with me, let's just hang you to the gallows.
Whoa, I told you, Fukuoka. There's nothing worse than being mistaken for a criminal for no reason when you are not the culprit. Why aren't you giving us a more convincing argument?
What do you know? Shut the hell up!
You down there, Fukuoka?
I've been talking on and on since the beginning. I'm not the culprit. Why do you keep accusing me when I can prove it logically? I'm going to tell you the truth right now, so stop playing with people's lives and shut up already!
Listen to the X. Shut up and slash! No! I wanted to click shut up and slash.
If I'm being honest, I still feel like she has evidence that it's not her, because how would she? I don't know who Kizuki is. Uh-oh.
Do you think I'll give up? There's still a lot of ground than what we have. That logic about sound is flawed, to say the least.
True.
Victory!
What else is missing? Can you tell me?
What if there was someone else talking to Iwada? The sound might not be loud. It could be a distraction. He could hear the floor, but his attention was focused on that person. How about it? Try refuting this one.
Someone was talking to Iwada at that time? Is that really possible? I mean, everyone's alibi, right?
I'll cut through your words!
I gotta be real. I still don't know how she could have done it, because I don't know how she could have lifted the cloth. But it does make sense, I guess, in a way, how she was able to stab him exactly where it would have killed him. Because, like, well, okay, she would have gotten the knife from the kitchen because she's always in the kitchen. She's the ultimate baker or chef or something, right? I guess a cook would know where the lungs are on a body. Like, technically, I guess if you're the ultimate chef, sure, I can see that.
That's enough! Stop! Fukuoka, stop it! You're not making any sense at all.
Ha! Something doesn't add up? Tell me then!
It's simple. We had time to check each other's alibis before the trial, remember? No one has testified that they were face to face with Iwada alive. Are you saying that someone is lying?
Is it far-fetched? It doesn't sound silly. If there were accomplices, it would be a simple matter.
There were accomplices?
Yes, accomplices! Why? To argue that this time the accomplice has nothing to gain, so why would it exist? Then think about it. It's only after the murder Monokuma tells the accomplice that there's nothing to gain. If they don't know that, then it's fine to have an accomplice. Also, recall the process of deciding whether Tadaira was mistaken or lying earlier. In the possibility that Tadaira lied when she was in the culprit, you said that there was no reason for her to lie, right? If Tadaira is an accomplice and she lied to confuse the investigation, it also makes sense. See? Is that convincing enough?
Dude, that's Sprite.
Well,
But still, if the accomplice had nothing to gain, wouldn't they have turned themselves in by now? There's no reason to keep your mouth shut when you're facing death.
If you turn yourself in and admit to being an accomplice, you might live for a while, but you're still aiding and abetting a murder, right? Maybe they're afraid of being in trouble if others find out. If you push them a little harder, they'll come clean.
Even so, it's odd to say that there's an accomplice in this case. Do you remember just before the trial, Monokuma said, no one asked about the accomplice. So even Iwada's killer didn't ask this question. Who really benefits from such an elaborate crime plan and forgot to ask?
That's...
Let me also add something. If there was an accomplice, they could have just given each other's alibis in the first place. We just happened to be together since 6 a.m., so we have an alibi, that sort of thing.
Oops, that was a big wasted idea.
Because Jumanji, who actually came out of her private room at 6 a.m., or Kuzu and Tomo, who have alibis 7 a.m., right? If two people happen to meet at 6 a.m., there's nothing weird about that. But in this case, we didn't have a single person with an alibi until we narrowed it down. Early in the morning, no one can see you, so it's easy to create an alibi. If we have an accomplice, can't they pull off a simple cover story like this?
Out of gas? I need a burp. Oh, excuse me. What to say now?
I won't give up yet!
Fukuoka? Prepare the bread? Are you kidding me? Nah, I'm ready. Let's do this. Armament, or whatever. Whoa! Why is she Queen of Hearts themed? Or like, deck of cards? I should have read the rules!
I'll kill you!
Maybe I did need to read the rules. I'm kind of awesome at this. I say as I miss every single one. Oh, come on. Come on, baby, come on. Boom! Broken one of your armaments.
Curse you! Life is precious! Curse you, Perry the Platypus!
I'm missing every single one. I can't make jokes. Sorry.
Come on! I'm sorry.
this is so hard.
Oh wait, it's not hard at all. Oh, nice.
Sticky-na!
Why are they saying just good, by the way? This is perfect. I'm doing really well. Contradictory to kill method. You can't
believe a small girl is the killer!
What? No, wait, what is the actual answer? Contradictory to kill method. Method contradictory to kill? Kill contradictory to method? No, that's what I said. Method contradictory to kill? Maybe. Okay. Method contradictory. What? Wait. Method to kill contradictory. Maybe. Because it gave it to me after I put method and then 2. So it's probably method. Wait, method? Method contradictory to kill. Probably. Hold on. Dude, having her gone, I can maybe even give the driver girl a better voice. I can give her voice instead of having her being the annoying, like, cat girl voice. Method. Oh. What? Oh, maybe method's not first. Dude, they shouldn't have had such an enticing answer such as, let's cut this bread or whatever, for like the, I don't need the tutorial button. What if there was like a super ultimate move? Kill? Contradictory? Oh, contradictory to kill method is probably the right answer, I guess. I don't know. I thought that's what I put first. What? But contradictory seemed like it was the right thing to have first. Contradictory to kill method. I thought I could have sworn that's what I did first. Hold on. Contradictory to. No? Contradictory method to kill? Maybe? Are you kidding me? Contradictory method to kill. Why did I press kill? This is it. This is it. Contradictory method to kill. What the heck? Do you mind? Can we blur? Can we cut that out? What was that all about? Hello? I know that it does a similar thing in the normal Danganronpa games, but it doesn't actually just like... That's enough. Your physique is just providing evidence that you're the culprit.
What's that supposed to mean?
At first glance, Fukuoka's small stature makes it seem a bit difficult for her to get her hands dirty with murders that require physical force. But on the contrary, it's because he's not the same size as Fukuoka that this happened. Am I the only one who doesn't get it? No, I don't get it. Let me break it down for you. Sorry. Let me break it down for you in another way. I told you, didn't I? The killer didn't like to be seen, and they certainly didn't want blood on their clothes. But if that's the case, why don't they just use a method that doesn't splatter blood, like strangulation? Why did they have to take the risk and stab them with a knife?
Now that I think about it, that was a fundamental blind spot. I didn't realize it until now.
But if we assume that the culprit is Fukuoka, the answer is pretty easy. To strangle, you'd have to wrap the rope around the victim's neck, but that was too much for Fukuoka.
According to their profiles, Fukuoka is 152 centimeters tall and Iwada is 173 centimeters tall. That's a difference of over 20 centimeters. That's a difference of 5 feet. There's a big difference. It's a female to male ratio, so there's plenty of room for counterattack if you don't get the advantage first. I can't imagine how many times I'd be able to wrap the rope around with that much height difference.
Right. If you say so. You've picked the most obvious way to defeat your opponent. I get it now. Of course, there could be other reasons we did not think of this. The criteria is vague, so it's difficult to conclude from this that the culprit is a person shorter than Iwada. However, if you know the culprit and look again, you'll find that it is the right answer.
Hey, I don't think she's listening anymore.
Out of gas? What to say now? Fukuoka, can you hear me? I'm going to pretend like you're listening. I shall go over this incident from the beginning. If there's one last chance for you, it's now. Come to your senses and listen closely. Climax reasoning. Why did I listen to this one and not the other one? I guess it wouldn't have helped for me to listen to the other one either, because it was just click space a bunch. Okay. Grabbed the knife, and then they were like... No? And then they were like... Okay, hold on. She came out of her room and she was like, "Hey there!" Okay. And then we were in the classroom and then she was like, "What's that?" No. And then, okay, we were in the classroom and then she was like, "Whoopsies, I left this on the floor for late." Okay. And then she was like, "I have a scheming plot." No. Okay. All right. Here she was, taking the cloth and like going with it. No? Okay. She found the cloth on the floor as she was walking by. No? She was like, I have a okay. There's my culprit. I mean, my victim. Sure, that one works there. I didn't even think it would. No? Look at how cute we all are, by the way. I gotta be real. It doesn't like tell me any other information aside from these little pictures here, and so it's really hard to tell what actually is the answer. Didn't I try this one here? Is this not where that one goes? No? Oh, that one went there? Oh, is that the knife she's sniffing? I thought that was the cloth. I see. Okay. Ew, here I am, just smiling along with you guys. Okay. Sure. The clock, I guess. And then she's all like... These two meet each other. No, okay. And then there's like a body here. Uh-huh. And... Uh-huh.
これが事件の全貌だ。
これが事件の全貌だ. To explain this crime, we must first begin with the meticulous preparation of the culprit. The culprit had two things in advance, a weapon and a cloth. We can figure out when the culprit took the cloth by deduction, so let me explain. First, the weapon needed to be prepared. The culprit avoided the diner's busy hours, which means they went between 7 and 9 p.m. last night. Then walked into the kitchen and snatched one of the 4 kitchen knives off the rack and took it to their private room. Oh, that wasn't a knife. Preparing the cloth was even easier. They would have gotten it from the warehouse when people weren't looking, most likely in the middle of the night. Okay, yeah, fair. Ding dong, bing dong. Hi! After the killer returns to their private room with the weapon, Mizuki suddenly pays them a visit. The request was to use their talents to make bread and sweets to give during the concert. Ugh! The culprit must have been caught off guard here. If they say yes, they might end up going to the kitchen with Misaki to look for flour, and she might think it's weird that one knife is missing. But let's say they refuse. Maybe there's someone who can prepare refreshments without using their own hands. In any scenario, the knife will be found missing. Sure. So the culprit interrupted everyone's path to the kitchen by saying something like, I already checked and there's no flour. Okay, sure. No, that makes sense. Totally, checks out. The culprit, who had somehow become a concert organizer, was called into a meeting with Misaki, Tadaira, Shinano, and Iwada from 9 to 10 p.m. The culprit probably didn't see this coming, but rather, they thought they could use it to their advantage. Now that they had the information that Iwada will be alone in the classroom at 6:30 a.m., there's no reason to bother picking a victim. After the meeting, it's 10 p.m., and they're back in their private room, waiting for the right time. At 10 p.m., people might still be out and about. Then, around dawn, the culprit sprang into action. Spring! Take the cloth they already had prepared and place it into Class 1A, where Iwada just decided to be. Or maybe they went straight to the warehouse, got the cloth, and brought it into the classroom. Maybe they hid it not in Class 1A, but right next door in Class 1B. If it wasn't that far, it wouldn't have mattered. Yeah. Anyway, the culprit hid the cloth in plain sight and somewhere Iwada wouldn't touch it, and waited for the morning to come. Iwada arrived at classroom at 6 a.m. as scheduled and began preparing for the concert. The killer chose this time to strike. Careful not to be seen, the culprit crept up to Iwada's classroom and waited for the right moment. Ding dong, bing bong. Monokuma. When the morning announcement goes off at 7 a.m., there was sound coming from the classroom floor, so they needed another sound to cover it up. Stab! When the alarm went off and deafened Iwada, the attacker rushed forward, grabbed the cloth, unfolded it in front of him, and stabbed him. They didn't want to be seen by anyone, so they tried to stop the blood somehow. When the killer saw Iwada down, they discarded the bloody cloth and quickly fled the scene. The culprit had no choice but to clothe the cloth away because it was covered in blood. Otherwise, the culprit would have been caught with the cloth. It was effectively a no-win situation. Iwada couldn't have died because the knife was pulled out, but instead the knife reached his lungs, causing blood to enter his lungs, which ended in his death. So she got lucky because he was the ultimate lucky student, or what? I don't know. Oh, she's calling for him. She's like, Iwada, are you in here? Sometime after that, Tadaira visited the classroom, but she didn't spot Iwada because of her disability. But then she ran into Misaki on her way back from the classroom, and she asked her questions about Iwada. Tadaira's position would have been very awkward, as she had only the uncertain evidence of Iwada's absence in the classroom. Nevertheless, she didn't want us to find out that she was blind, so she falsely testified that he wasn't there for sure. It would have been one thing if Misaki had brushed it off, but she thought I was out of the ordinary. That's when things took a turn for the worse. Misaki and Tadaira asked me and Tomo at the diner to cooperate, so we went looking for Iwada together. Oh! Later, Misaki and I found Iwada's body in the classroom, and the rest of us gathered around and shared our shock over it. The culprit lurked in the shadows, smiling quietly to themselves. Dude. Kotori Fukuoka, it can't be anyone else but you! Look at her. Fuming. You Madge, bro? You Madge?
This can't be. You can't do this. I have to get out of here. That's why I killed that guy. So we were right after all.
Boom, 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 boom. Okay, so my prediction wasn't right, but you can't blame me. Ooh, 35 for 13, whatever that one was. I got a C. 135 monocoins? The next free time event is gonna be wild! I failed at guessing, try again in the next chapter. Yeah, I will. Ow. Oh, the band-aid isn't even covering it. Ow.
Well, I think we're getting somewhere, aren't we? So let's begin the voting time, shall we? Everyone, the switches are in front of trial seats, and you vote on who the blackened is. Your choice may or may not be the right one. The results will tell. So, are we all ready? It's voting time!
Huge! Are there any E's? E's are a vowel, you have to buy those. Stupid, stupid, stupid! Class trial, closed. Yes, I'd love to save. Thank you. I've been recording for 2 hours. I don't know how long the video itself is, but I need to do something about this surgery scar because it's not currently being protected and I need it to heal properly. So, we did all of the trial in this one video. That just means we have something to look forward to next time, doesn't it? The... whatever it's called. The execution. We'll find out why she did it. We'll find out how she's executed. And we'll probably just have enough time to dive right into chapter 1. No, this was chapter 1, right? Chapter 2. Yeah? Chapter 2 is out. And then after I play this game, I'm gonna be checking out like Kill Cure, Danganronpa Kill Cure. Hopefully more of some other fan games come out soon. If you know, you know about Project Eden's Garden. But I wish everyone the best of luck out there. Be nice to each other. Don't do what Fukuoka did. And instead, you can maybe like the video, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. And I'll see you in the next video, okay? I'm gonna go have some tea, because Fukuoka's voice is not good for me. Peace out!